Welcome back to Beyond a Diamond podcast. We're here with some somber, some potentially
and I'll see
good news,
you
bad
again.
news.
Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker has been traded to the Cubs. Thoughts? Initial thoughts? Gut check.
It feels like a body blow. Selfishly for us here, we have obviously a great relationship with him, his family, his team. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and the Houston Astros made a business decision to let an MVP, a 5-tool player, a 30 for 30 guy, a Silver Slugger, a Gold Glove, top 10 overall Major League Baseball talent, go to another team in a trade that brings you a guy in Isaac Paredes who has 30 to 35 home run pop, swing profiles for Minute Maid Park. The Astros tried to get him last year at the deadline. The Cubs got him. You get Camp Smith, now the number one prospect in the Astros farm, top 50 overall.
Top 50 in baseball is what we're hearing.
The kid's got mad pop, 6'3", 225, Florida State. He was a top 100 guy in high school, went to Florida State, was a draft-eligible sophomore, had a really, 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 really good career there. And you also got Hayden Wozniacki, who's from Cy-Fair, went to Sam Houston, a family friend of ours. His dad and my dad are in the same fantasy football league for like 20-plus years. And he's going to be a spin merchant in the lab. So Kyle Tucker, no longer Houston Astro, King Tuck. Feels like just initial reaction. I think the further we get away from it, it's going to be, okay, the Astros made a decision to better the business side of things, but today it's a gut punch. It's a body shot.
Yeah, I am anxious and excited to see what Cam Smith can be. I mean, it's weird that he's the Cubs' 7th ranked prospect, number 73 in baseball from last year's.
Yeah, he was in last year's draft, so he should get a good strong update.
When the prospect rankings are updated before the season, we've heard he's going to be top 50 in baseball. He will immediately be the Astros' number one prospect above Jacob Melton. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he could be. I also think, if you look at Isaac Paredes' spray chart and you put that over Minute Maid Park, you see potentially 10-plus home runs that he missed out on. So he could go out there and hit 40 bombs at Minute Maid Park. He could be like a
30
he could be a Richard Hidalgo, just hitting just tanks. He could be
3 years of control.
3 years of control. And then you have Hayden thrown in there. You comped him to like a Maton type of dude, a spin rate guy that
Peacock could be in the rotation, could be a bridge guy,
a
Seth Martinez bridge guy, a Scott bridge guy, a Roto guy if he had to be.
Yeah.
I will say this. There's a reason why there's a whole entire city in the desert in Las Vegas. The Houston Astros odds for the American League pennant went from plus 350 to plus 500. They staggered down the charts from the second best odds in the American League to only the third. The Orioles and Yankees are the only teams ahead of them.
Which is crazy with that trade, because that trade is more for the future, not for next year. And for the only
for
fall
Vegas
that
only
much,
to
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because then you also first let's grade this trade, and then we'll get on to other moves this offseason. But 1 through 10, what do you grade in this trade? 10 being it was amazing, 1 being we got fleeced.
5.5. The trade was solid, but it just left me wanting just a little bit more. Wanted me to be a little bit more greedy.
Yeah, I wanted Owen Cassie from the Cubs outfield guy. I think he's a stud. I wanted an outfield prospect coming back. That way, the sting of the loss of depth in the outfield hurt less. I think the Astros and Dana believe in Jacob Melton and think that it'll be okay, but we'll see. I'm giving it a 5. You want a 5.5? I'm giving it a 5. And a lot of that weight is carried by Cam Smith. And if 2 years from now he's up in the bigs and raking, then obviously my rating will go up. And I think it could, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think a lot hinges on Cam Smith, and that's not fair to the kid, but that's the reality of it. I think the other side is you have an opportunity now to spend money in the sense of you're going to pay Kyle Tucker an arbitration around $18 million. I think that's what it was forecasted. Paredes is going to be $6 million. So in this trade, you gain hyperbole $12 million to spend. Now we'll see if they will. I this can go to the next.
And then you also have, there's the rumored trades of potentially trading Framber, potentially trading Presley. That's also, specifically Presley is a move that you could work out to then free up more on the books for a potential free agent in a Santander or a Profar, a couple other guys that are free agents that have been rumored linked to the Astros, whatever. So yeah, that's the other move. Is like this grade could also be this offseason grade. Right now, I'd put at a C plus, B minus. It's not been great. I would want I wanted either Bregman or Tucker, and right now you have neither. So I'm not happy with it, but that can go up based on more moves.
Yeah, and I there's clear holes in this lineup still. You have to go shore those up, and you got to get 1 through 9 with more pop. We said it. If you have been watching, we have 3 live shows over the last 3 days. You just go to the live section that they're over 2 hours long, but kind of seeing us spiral and see it all happen. But
see Dez get texts and calls live.
Yeah, we did.
The scoop.
We were on this around 10:45, 11 a.m. I got the call from someone that said, "Hey, the teams are letting the players know." We went live around 11. The news dropped around 1. It's been a long day, but I think the fear is like, hey, 2025 is just like this. You've robbed Peter to pay Paul for all this time. Now you have to own up to it, and you have all these dead contracts. You have all these dead monies that doesn't allow you to have the roster construction and fluidity of 1 through 9. So you have to get creative, and they said that. And then Dana Brown said in front of everyone, like, hey, we can win the division without one of these 2 guys. And then 72 hours later, an MVP is traded. And we're spoiled that we're used to the MVPs coming to Houston, and now it's the other way around. So it's definitely a shift in philosophy and definitely a shift in perspective at a crossroads going into 2025. Saying all that, Kyle Tucker's going to be a very, very rich man in about 365 days from now.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was going to be the Houston Astros signing that check. So business to business, you understand trading a value, and that you weren't going to retain that value. You get value back via the trade. So,
yeah.
He was like, I'm sorry to cut you off. I think it sucks more because he was drafted by the Astros as a boy, as a kid.
Same year as Bregman.
And the same thing with Bray. Like they're men now, and
stuff.
And we've constantly seen superstars leave and walk, and we've been able to replace. And it's been the parties keep going, blah blah. But if there was one you would spend the $400 million on, it would be the Kyle Tucker. And I just go back to 2022 where you just won a World Series. Why did you not try to extend them and buy those arbitration years out? That was the moment to capitalize on it, to get an extension done and make that work. And you whiffed. You paid Abreu, you paid Montero, you paid other things, and now you're sitting here wondering why.
Well, usually teams don't fire their GM moments after winning the World Series and causing a cascading effect of not having a GM and making moves anyways. Weird method there. I think that was a stumble in this golden era that they're trying to recover from. They're tripping down the stairs and they're trying to grab the railing and stay afloat. I don't hate this move. This is definitely this is not a move where I'm immediately like, Astros got fleeced. It's over. Golden era's over. Like, what the fuck? Like,
every smart person in baseball has said the Astros won this trade.
Yeah, all the pundits are like, oh, the Astros like just did such a smart move to kind of rebuild and extend their window even though like it hurts to lose a guy like Kyle Tucker, on paper, it makes sense. So, yeah, we'll see what happens the rest of this offseason. I think for me, for this offseason to get an A grade, they either need to get Bregman or they need to get a Santander or one of the other big free agent names. Because for me, it's like you trade Presley, get another prospect, free up money, and then you sign a big free agent. That's me. That's like a great offseason for me because you've solved the farm system slightly. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do there, but you've kind of reshored the prospect level, and you've also made your major league team better. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's other moves that have to be made because right now when an MVP leaves, an MVP type caliber, it's an F in my eyes. No matter, I understand the logistics of the money and you got a Paredes who's going to have 30, 35 home runs, 3 years of control, Cam Smith of 6 years control whenever he comes up. He's the number one person in your org. And then obviously Hayden coming over as well, that is major league ready to be in the pen or in the rotation, and will be a great spin merchant in the lab. You just need to give me more. That it just can't be this. And so,
yeah.
I think also too, and if you haven't seen our shows, and we're just gonna keep this short and sweet. Kyle Tucker's been a friend and an ally of this brand and this company, and
he was playing Fortnite with us on stream
for hours.
In February 2021 or whenever that was, 2022.
Him and his wife have gone above and beyond. Their foundation has gone above and beyond.
Yeah.
They're great human beings. I wish them all the success in Chicago, and obviously I wish it was still going to be here in some capacity. But it's
a business.
It's a business. I just can't. I just have to say. I'll keep saying thank you a million times to them because these athletes don't have to. They don't have to give us the time of day here at all. They don't have to do any of the stuff they do with us. And so to have him do that, especially before he was Kyle Tucker. I mean, I think the first time we had him on the podcast was 2021, the off season.
Yeah.
And we were talking about him getting some chains and from Siri, and we're at the old Galleria office.
Yeah.
And it's just super thankful for them. And can't wait to see what he does. Hopefully he wins an MVP in the National League, and hopefully we see the Cubs in October.
Oh, I'm full on Cubs beat the shit out of the Dodgers now. Yeah. Like, obviously, if it gets to the World Series, it's Cubs, Astros. Fuck the Cubs. Sorry to y'all, but obviously. But right now, I'm like, I hope there's a Cubs Dodgers playoff series where we can watch Kyle Tucker beat the shit out of the Dodgers. I would love to see that. Would make me happy. That would make me happy. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us right now. Thank you to our sponsors, Big C Wings and Quick Assist. A little short and sweet pod. We've been doing live shows all week, like you said. Give us a call, 832-409-1558 to leave a voicemail. And probably next week, we'll do another pod where we listen to y'all's thoughts. And then obviously, if some other big news happens, we're going to be right on it. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube and like and all that good stuff. We're on the road to 100K.
On the road. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, thank you for watching and listening.
Peace. Love you guys. Go Astros.